The Science of Gratitude. A white paper prepared for the John Templeton Foundation by the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley. May 2018. The Science of Gratitude Executive Summary. Throughout history and around the world, religious leaders and philosophers have extolled the virtue of gratitude. Some have even described gratitude as social glue that fortifies relationships between friends, family, and romantic partners, and serves as the backbone of human society. But what exactly is gratitude? Where does it come from? Why do some people seem to be naturally more grateful than others? And are there ways we can foster more feelings and expressions of gratitude? Over the past 2 decades, scientists have made great strides toward understanding the biological roots of gratitude, the various benefits that accompany gratitude, and the ways that people can cultivate feelings of gratitude in their day-to-day lives. The studies comprising this science of gratitude are the subject of this paper. What is gratitude? Most people have an instinctive understanding of what gratitude is, but it can be surprisingly difficult to define. Is it an emotion? A virtue? A behavior? Indeed, gratitude can mean different things to different people in different contexts. However, researchers have developed some frameworks for conceptualizing gratitude so that it can be studied scientifically. For example, Robert Emmons and Michael McCulloch define gratitude as a 2-step process: 1. Recognizing that one has obtained a positive outcome, and 2. Recognizing that there is an external source for this positive outcome. While most of these positive benefits come from other people, hence gratitude's reputation as an other-oriented emotion, people can also experience gratitude toward God, fate, nature, etc. Some psychologists further categorize 3 types of gratitude. 1. Gratitude as an affective trait or one's overall tendency to have a grateful disposition. 2. A mood or daily fluctuations in overall gratitude. And 3. An emotion or a more temporary feeling of gratitude that one may feel after receiving a gift or a favor from someone. Most of the studies in this paper focus on trait or dispositional gratitude and/or gratitude as an emotion. The origins of gratitude. Research suggests that gratitude is not simply a cultural construct. It has deep roots that are embedded in our evolutionary history, our brains and DNA, and in child development. Animals as diverse as fish, birds, and vampire bats engage in reciprocal altruism activities, behaviors that one animal performs to help another member of their species, even at a cost to themselves, presumably because they recognize at some instinctual level that the other individual may repay the favor at a later date. Many scientists see this desire to repay generosity as an expression of gratitude. In fact, some scientists suggest that gratitude may have evolved as a mechanism to drive this reciprocal altruism, thereby turning strangers into friends and allies who are more likely to help one another. Support for the idea that gratitude may have arisen as an evolutionary adaptation comes in part from research on primates. Studies have found that chimpanzees are more likely to share food with a chimpanzee that had groomed them earlier in the day, and are more likely to help another chimpanzee with a task if that chimpanzee had helped them in the past. Studies from neuroscience have identified brain areas that are likely involved in experiencing and expressing gratitude, providing further evidence for the idea that gratitude is an intrinsic component of the human experience. Additionally, a few studies have identified specific genes that may underlie our ability to experience gratitude. Recent studies have also begun exploring the developmental roots of gratitude. This work suggests that even fairly young children have some concept of gratitude that develops as they mature. Again, this suggests that the roots of gratitude run deep. Individual factors linked to gratitude. Even if humans as a species have a general propensity for gratitude, what determines whether an individual feels grateful or not? Research has linked a variety of factors, including personality factors, cognitive factors, and gender, to one's likelihood of experiencing gratitude or having a grateful disposition. Several studies have explored whether certain personality factors, such as extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, neuroticism, or openness to experience, are associated with dispositional gratitude. Their results have differed. Other studies have found evidence suggesting that gratitude may be conceptualized as its own personality factor. There are a number of cognitive factors that can influence how much gratitude a person feels in a certain situation. These include the perceived intentions of the benefactor, i.e., Whether the benefactor was seen as acting out of pure altruism or due to selfish motives, such as wishing to improve their reputation, the apparent cost to the benefactor, the perceived value of the gift or favor to the recipient, whether the gift or favor was provided by choice versus obligation, and the extent to which the receiver believes in free will. Several studies have found that girls and women report feeling more grateful than boys and men, possibly because boys and men, at least in the United States, may be more likely to associate gratitude with weakness or indebtedness. Other studies have identified certain traits that act as barriers to gratitude. These include envy, materialism, narcissism, and cynicism. Social and cultural factors linked to gratitude. Research also suggests that social factors, including religion, cultural influences, and parenting styles, may influence a person's tendency to experience gratitude. Multiple studies report associations between elements of religiosity or spirituality and dispositional gratitude, suggesting that there may be a link between religion and gratitude. One study found that people assigned to pray for their partner, or pray in general, for 4 weeks, reported higher gratitude at the end of the study than people who were assigned to think about their daily activities or to think positive thoughts about their partner. However, another study found that priming people to think about religious concepts did not increase their gratitude or generosity. Culture may also influence people's experiences of gratitude. For example, one study found that men in the United States reported experiencing gratitude less frequently than those in Germany, and another study found that American, Brazilian, Chinese, and Russian children differed in the ages and extent to which they expressed different forms of gratitude. A few studies have looked at how parents might influence their children's gratitude experiences. For example, a study of 4th and 5th grade students and their biological parents found a small but statistically significant relationship between the self-reported gratitude of the children and their mothers, but not between the children and their fathers. Another study explored why more grateful parents might have more grateful children, finding that more dispositionally grateful parents were more likely to place their children in situations that might evoke feelings of gratitude, such as volunteering for people in need. Individual benefits of gratitude. Research suggests that gratitude may be associated with many benefits for individuals, including better physical and psychological health, increased happiness and life satisfaction, decreased materialism, and more. A handful of studies suggest that more grateful people may be healthier, and others suggest that scientifically designed practices to increase gratitude can also improve people's health and encourage them to adopt healthier habits. Many more studies have examined possible connections between gratitude and various elements of psychological well-being. In general, more grateful people are happier, more satisfied with their lives, less materialistic, and less likely to suffer from burnout. Additionally, some studies have found that gratitude practices, like keeping a gratitude journal or writing a letter of gratitude, can increase people's happiness and overall positive mood. Gratitude may also benefit people with various medical and psychological challenges. For example, one study found that more grateful cardiac patients reported better sleep, less fatigue, and lower levels of cellular inflammation, and another found that heart failure patients who kept a gratitude journal for 8 weeks were more grateful and had reduced signs of inflammation afterwards. Several studies have found that more grateful people experience less depression and are more resilient following traumatic events. Other studies suggest that gratitude may live up to its reputation as the mother of all virtues by encouraging the development of other virtues such as patience, humility, and wisdom. In recent years, studies have examined gratitude's potential benefits for children and adolescents. For example, studies have found that more grateful adolescents are more interested and satisfied with their school lives, are more kind and helpful, and are more socially integrated. A few studies have found that gratitude journaling in the classroom can improve students' mood and that a curriculum designed to help students appreciate the benefits they have gained from others can successfully teach children to think more gratefully and to exhibit more grateful behavior, such as writing more thank you notes to their school's PTA. Social benefits of gratitude. Given its role as social glue, it should not be surprising that evidence points to gratitude's social benefits as well. Research suggests that gratitude inspires people to be more generous, kind, and helpful, or prosocial, strengthens relationships, including romantic relationships, and may improve the climate in workplaces. Several studies have supported the link between gratitude and prosocial behavior. These studies have found that more grateful people are more helpful and generous, and that experimentally manipulating people's feelings of gratitude can lead them to be more helpful and generous, as can activities such as writing a gratitude letter. Gratitude is also important to forming and maintaining social relationships. Research supports what some researchers refer to as the find, remind, and bind function of gratitude. By attuning people to the thoughtfulness of others, gratitude helps them find or identify people who are good candidates for quality future relationships. It also helps remind people of the goodness of their existing relationships, and it binds them to their partners and friends by making them feel appreciated, and encouraging them to engage in behaviors that will help prolong their relationships. For example, one study found that participants who were thanked for helping a student on an assignment were more interested in affiliating with that student in the future. Another study found that partners who had a series of conversations expressing gratitude to their partner reported more improvements in their personal well-being and in the well-being of their relationship than did partners who had conversations disclosing something personal about themselves. Though there has not been a great deal of research explicitly focused on gratitude in the workplace, a handful of studies suggest that gratitude may help employees perform their jobs more effectively, feel more satisfied at work, and act more helpfully and respectfully toward their coworkers. Gratitude interventions. As mentioned earlier, a growing number of studies have tested the efficacy of various practices or interventions designed to boost gratitude, such as counting one's blessings via gratitude journaling, and writing letters of gratitude to people whom one has never properly thanked, gratitude letters. These studies have helped to identify many of the benefits of gratitude described above. But results from these studies also suggest how some people might be more likely to engage with, and benefit from, certain gratitude interventions. For starters, some studies have identified factors that influence whether people are willing to adopt and or complete these interventions. For example, people who are naturally more curious are more likely to give gratitude interventions a try. Other studies have found evidence that some people may be more likely to benefit from gratitude interventions than others. For example, one study found that less neurotic people reported increased happiness a week after completing a gratitude intervention, but more neurotic participants did not. A series of meta-analysis studies have attempted to determine the efficacy of gratitude interventions, and most have concluded that gratitude interventions do appear to significantly increase happiness, well-being, and positive mood. However, the impact of these interventions on many other outcomes is less clear. Future directions. Research on the science of gratitude is relatively new, and thus there are still many open questions left to explore. These include studies looking at the potential dark sides of gratitude, e.g., manufacturing gratitude to manipulate people, further defining and categorizing different types of gratitude experiences, determining why some interventions work for some people but not others, and identifying how best to use gratitude interventions in the classroom and the workplace.